Hi, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Agency Rainmaker TV. This is where we talk to agency owners on how to make it rain with right fit prospects. We don't need bad fit prospects. We've got plenty of those on our own. But how do we attract right fit prospects into our pipeline? And with me today is agency owner Greg Bray. Greg, how are you today?
Oh, I'm excited to be here, Henry. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, it's so great to have you here. We've met through our association at different workshops and enjoyed each other's company. And really, I enjoyed your perspective. So that's why I invited you on today. Greg, why don't you explain to the audience your who? Who do you seek to attract?
So at Blue Tangerine, we believe that every home builder deserves a sales generating website. And so we are working with residential home builders that build new homes for the world.
I like that your perspective is it isn't just a branding tool or just something to build credibility, but it's actually about generating leads. How did you come up with that?
You know, it's been a journey for sure. We've always known that our goal is to do more than just build a nice website, right? It's got to be about moving business forward for the client. But actually trying to get it into a statement or a perspective, if you will, that we can share, that makes sense and that can be communicated quickly and clearly is a journey we're still on. I'm not sure that we've totally made it there yet, but we're further along that journey than we used to be, shall we say.
I wrote an article once, and maybe it's even shorter amount of time, but I used to call it the 8-second death penalty, that you had 8 seconds to prove you were relevant or that person was going on to someplace else. Do you find those transactions are that fast?
I do. I think that we are all very short in our attention spans today, and being able to connect with someone in such a way they go, oh, this is for me, tell me more, right? You don't have to tell them everything. You need to give them enough so they say, oh, tell me more.
Yeah, I don't got time for that. What time wasted? I got to move on if you're not relevant. Well, let's talk more about the what. What do you do for these home builders? What do you do for these home builders in addition to websites?
So at the heart, we're all about digital marketing along with the website development. So our goal is to drive better traffic to the websites, the right kind of prospective buyers that are a good fit, then help them engage those buyers online and convert them into leads and eventually sales. Now, we don't get into the entire sales process because buying a home is not a 1-minute conversation for somebody. It's actually one of the largest, if not the largest purchase most people will ever make in their lives. And so there's a journey that goes along with that, but we want to support as best we can that journey with the online tools necessary to help people who use the internet to go through a large portion of that process today.
We have something in common. I used to be the president of an advertising and PR agency, and our niche was home builders. And other agencies didn't realize how much homes cost. And when you add up what we were selling, we had marketed $1 billion in real estate before you know it. So, and like that US president once said, $1 billion here, $1 billion there. Pretty soon we're talking about real money. So hats off on doing that. Now, I'm curious, and this is the cobbler's children question. We've all heard this. How do you make it rain? How do you market? How do you do business development for your agency?
You know, that's been a journey as well, learning how to do that for sure. And again, I'm not at the end point of that journey, still along the path there. But at its heart, we've learned that, and I think it's typical for most kind of agency type engagements, it's not the little coupon or the, hey, buy one, get one free type of thing that's going to get somebody to suddenly say, hey, we need an agency to help us with this today. It has to be about being recognized as an expert and an authority. And so one of the things is niching down into a specific market. And so that they recognize, hey, these people understand me. Can my skills be used in other industries? Of course they can. But the fact that a home builder says, oh, they look at all these other home builders they've worked with. Oh, they're speaking my language. They're using those industry jargon terms that not everybody knows. And so they know something more than somebody else. It's also about then positioning yourself with something a little different as far as the messaging out there. And for us today, we are pushing into this idea of selling homes online, not just lead generation, but actually transacting that purchase on the website, as that's a growing area of interest in the industry. People are buying cars every day now online, and they're starting to explore homes. And we want to be kind of a leader in that little niche, even deeper than just lead generation, but getting into the actual online sales of homes.
I believe you can do it. When I sold a home about 16 years ago, person saw it online, contacted a realtor, made an offer. They were in New Jersey. I was in California, and the deal was done in a couple of days. And I said, oh, I've seen the future. We don't necessarily need people parading through homes all the time to make decisions like this. So you're at the forefront of that. Now, let's say, Greg, I'm a potential client. I'm not a home builder. I come to you. I have a problem you can solve, and I have a big bag of money. Do you take the big bag of money and solve my problem? Or do you say, oh, no, you're not a home builder?
Henry, we have this conversation. Well, I wish we had it more often with more big bags of money,
yes.
but we have a conversation regularly of where do we draw that line? It's tough. And frankly, some of the biggest mistakes I've made is chasing a bad fit client, over the years, because it looked like a big bag of money, or gosh, my team isn't quite full today, so I need something to give them more to do and to keep them busy. And it turns out that you lose so much when you do these one-off projects that don't take advantage of your learning and don't take advantage of the standardization and process that you can do. Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't a place for the agency or the provider that has a very customized, unique, do it different every time kind of solution, but you've got to have a premium for that to pay for it. If you want to get efficient, you've really got to narrow in. So I don't have the right answer of when you say yes and when you say no. How big is a big enough bag of money is really, kind of the heart of the question. But it is a question that at least we're trying to ask on a regular basis, and we're getting pickier. We're definitely getting pickier.
It's nice when you can get pickier, and that's what this authority marketing journey you're on pays off with. So great advice, great help to agency owners out there. Let's give them a few takeaways. One, go for a super niche. That's been a key to your success, right?
Definitely been a big part of it. I would say too, Henry, that one of the big learnings for me is I had to go on a bit of a journey to find my voice. This idea of becoming a quote thought leader, that sounds so fancy, and you have to be really smart and all these things. And of course you have imposter syndrome that gets in the way of some of those things. But I also thought early on that it meant I had to write. And I know you're a writer and you love writing and everything else, but writing is hard work for me. It doesn't come totally naturally. And so I really kind of kept running into that roadblock. And about 3.5-4 years ago, I discovered podcasting and was able to instead engage in a conversational way, which I was much more comfortable. I'm very comfortable on stage talking and teaching. I love teaching. And that opened up the ability to share my thoughts in a different medium that I hadn't explored before. And what's interesting is now, because of that, writing is easier because I've learned how to share some of that. So I think this idea of you need to find your voice too and figure out what you're comfortable with as a way to share those ideas, and don't get pigeonholed into there's only one way to do that or one place to do that.
Well, may I pay you a compliment, Greg?
Of course, I'll accept compliments.
I don't think you're a thought leader.
Okay.
I think you're something better. I think you're a thought follower. You follow these other voices, you bring them on, and I'm trying to emulate it too, to be a thought follower and bring people like you on, share their wisdom, shine a spotlight on them, And then the sum total is that helps us to be an authority, is that we're bringing all these thoughtful people into their lives. So you brought up another point I wanted to talk about, was point of view. So do you have a definite point of view?
I think the point of view is that websites for home builders should be selling homes, right? And that we believe every home builder deserves that. There's a lot of discussion about whether that's actually true. There's a lot of builders that, oh, my website never sells a home. And we say, well, it should be. So if it's not, then there's something wrong with the website and you need to change your point of view. But that's a conversation that we definitely have on a regular basis. And while that may seem obvious to some, at least in this particular industry, because of that journey and the length of time it takes, sometimes the connection of the website to the final sale isn't as clear to the builder because they've talked to a salesperson or they've visited 3 times and all of this. So this idea of connecting that back for them and recognizing that the website has a key role to play for them, and digital marketing does as well. So that's really the heart of our point of view, I believe, is that, and not only that, but you deserve it. You know, we like that idea that it's not just an accident. You deserve it. And frankly, as much as 50% of your sales should be coming through the website in some way or another, if for a builder.
That's nice. People used to tell me, well, I get all my business from referrals. And I would say, oh, that's too bad. I'm sorry, you're missing out on half your sales. So that's the turn. Point of view, agency owners, simple concept, not easy. It took me a long time to come up with our point of view, which is, a book is the #1 marketing tool for an agency. Talking about the book is the #1 sales strategy to fill the pipeline. So what is your point of view? Be out there, be bold with it, and state it. Well, Greg, thank you so much for spending time with us today. That's all the time we have. Thanks to our listeners, and we look forward to seeing you on another episode of Agency Rainmaker TV.